Okay. Yeah, it's barely dropping any frames, so hopefully that's a good thing. See if people join. Okay, can y'all hear me? Tell me in chat if you can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Tell me in chat if you can hear me. Okay. Okay, good. So, I already showed you guys standings, right? So let's get to, let's do team stats first. I think, actually, no, let's do player stats first, then we'll do team stats. So for the Sixers, who have been the best team in the league, and in the past 31 games, 30 and 1. Um, Start with Elvin Hayes at the top. He has been really good. Probably an all-star snub, actually. Yeah, I don't know how that isn't an all-star season, especially on the best team in the league. But yeah, really solid season from Elvin Hayes, Ron Boone, Cazzie Russell, Ernie DiGregorio playing pretty well, Spencer Haywood, Swen Nader, Arturo Guerrero, Jerry Sloan. So it looks like they just have a ton of depth. Because a very interesting thing about the Sixers is they're actually playing their entire they're playing their entire roster. They have 11 real guys and they're playing all 11, which is very interesting. You don't usually see that in these leagues. And the Bucks, who are the 2 seed in the East, Larry Keenan. I don't know if he was an All-Star. I think he was. 22 and 8. He's playing really well. Brian Taylor. I think Brian Taylor was an All-Star actually. He's also playing well. Austin Carr, Kosic, who is giving like I don't think this is on any of the VODs didn't that actually were able to go up, but Kosic was doing really well against Bill Russell on screen. Uh, this is another international guy, Lacey. Okay, so with these first two teams and the top two teams in the East, they're both like they both have a ton of depth. At least that's what it looks like right now. And for the Bulls, they're doing really bad as a team, but Dantley is doing amazing, 27 and 7. Uh, okay, and here's the rest of the team. And the Cavs, who have been pretty underwhelming. Dr. J is playing great. Randy Smith is playing great. Dennis Johnson looks like he's playing well. Same with Gus Williams and their centers. I don't really know what's going on here. Well, we'll check out team stats later. Maybe that'll add some context. So the Celtics, they're a 500 team. Dandridge, Phil Smith, Matt Calvin, Wedman, and their team. The Braves, who are the worst team in the league, is Alvin Adams. Okay. Phil Jackson averaging 2 points per game on 34% true shooting. Clippers. Okay. Clippers are, I think they're a bit underwhelming so far. But look, like all their players are putting up good numbers, so we'll see in team stats why they're doing badly. Cowens is having a really good year, but the team as a whole isn't that great. He Will, uh, player coach Pat Riley, Hornets. Oh, Alex English really picked it up. He was under 40% field goal percentage at one point. So yeah, he really picked it up in the past couple months. But the team as a whole is doing pretty mid. Bob McAdoo's having a solid year, but um, let me just check this out. Yeah, oh my God, really, he's actually playing really well in the past 2 months. The Jazz, first overall, John Lucas is the first overall pick of the current rookie class. So he's playing well. There's Wes Unseld. He's putting up 5 blocks a game. Interesting. The Kings, who a lot of people think are the best team in the league. Um, Bill Walton averaging a triple double. Issel also putting up a lot of points. Buse, Chet Walker, Henderson, Willie Wise. Okay, interesting. The Knicks, who I believe are the third seed in the East. Gervin having an amazing year. Uh, and depth doesn't really look to seem to be that much of an issue for them. I mean, it isn't great, but they do have 4 other players putting up at least 10 a game. So that's interesting. But yeah, Gervin's really carrying them. And the Lakers, David Thompson's averaging 36 a game. The rest of the team is just playing terrible. Magic, interesting. Dave Logan, 18 a game, and he's shooting it really well too. That's really interesting from Dave Logan. West playing well, Dalapagic too. Yeah, Magic are just a really solid team all around. Sidney Wicks, 5 assists a game. That's interesting. Um, uh, Mavericks, Tiny Archibald having a really good year. Goodrich, Havlicek, Clifford Ray, Kim Hughes. Yeah, Dave Logan is him. 18 a game. So the Nets, they're called the Wizards because Cold made me change their name to the Wizards, or he refused, or he would like refuse to join the league or something like that. But Rudy T's having a crazy year, big time year from JoJo White and Dave Collins. I'm Doug Collins too. And here's the rest of their team. 41-year-old Lenny Wilkens. Interesting. Denver, who's the 2 seed in the West. Huge year from the from Mo Lucas. And Robert Parrish as a rookie too, also putting up 20 a game. Yeah, they're both playing really well on both ends. So that's really interesting to see. Calvin Murphy also putting up 19 and 10. It's Mike Gale, dude, putting up 6 assists. There's the rest of their team. Pacers aren't as bad as I thought they'd be. Moses with a really good year, 22, 14, and 3. 3 blocks, not 3 assists. Um, But yeah, they just don't have a lot of good players around Moses, so they are pretty bad. Grizzlies are pretty bad. John Williamson, really good year. Truck Robinson, pretty good year, but just absolutely no one that good around them. I think Daryl Dawkins might be starting. Pistons. Yes, so Kareem is probably the best player in the league right now. Um, Walt Frazier, a lot to unpack here. 20 points, 11 assists, 5 steals, but 6 turnovers. Not that great efficiency. Yeah, 49%. So I don't know how would you rate? Is that like a good season or is that? Yeah, that's really I don't know. DeBuscher just yeah. There's no the scoring around Kareem is just so bad. Um, I mean, there, there's like these three guys are adding a lot of playmaking. I don't even because 6 turnovers from Frazier. I don't know. They're playing well, but like it's easy to see why they're underwhelming. Here's the Huskies. Brian Winters, really big year. 23 and 7, and amazing shooting as well. Big time year from Brian Winters. Scott May, the rookie. Ricky Sobers, Joe Merriweather. Yeah, the Huskies aren't actually that bad, despite how bad their roster looks. Houston. Yeah, their young dynamic duo is playing well. Lou Hudson looking solid as well. Not much outside of that though. Spurs, Rick Barry having a really good year. Bubbles Hawkins not having a great year, but he is young. Yeah, not much outside of them. For the Suns, they're pretty bad right now too. Billy Knight having a good year, nothing crazy though. John Shoemate having a really good year, but and Johnny Davis also playing well, but yeah, there's just not enough. And the Sonics, who are playing surprisingly really well. John Drew, 25 and 10. Lionel Hollins as a rookie, 18 and 7. Wilbur Holland off the bench, 18, 6, 3 and 3 steals. Also shooting it well from 3. Phil Chenier, who's actually starting over Holland. I don't know if he should be like he's playing well and he's playmaking a lot better, but like Holland has twice as many steals in way less minutes, also shooting it way more efficiently. So I don't know if Chenier should really be starting. Kermit Washington, and of course, player coach Bill Russell. 7 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Third string big, Elmore Smith. 6 rebounds, 6.6 rebounds, 2 blocks. And then Tom Boerwinkle, the backup center. 6 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. Uh, the center rotation of the Sonics is averaging 17 assists per game total, which is very interesting. Their top two, like at assists by far, are Boerwinkle and Russell, which is really interesting. Now we get on to the Timberwolves, and whoa, Westfall, 21, 9, and 4 steals. 21, 7, and 4 for Stano Kropilak. In only 27 minutes a game, he's averaging 27, 9, and 5 per 36. What the hell? Fly Williams, 18 a game. He's shooting 7 threes a game on at 37%. What? That's just wild stuff. This team is wow. Okay, Coach Mikan's gotta be like what? They traded Earl Monroe to the Clippers and got better. Is Earl Monroe really better than Fly Williams? Probably, but like for how long? Because like, damn, it's wild. Onto the 1 seed in the West, Blazers. 25, 10, 5, 3 steals, 4 blocks for Bobby Jones. What the hell? He's playing so well. Uh, and he has a lot of help around him too. ML Carr, 18 and 8. And he's shooting the ball well too. Kevin Cunner putting up 12 and 7. Mitch Kupchak also putting up 12 and 7. Kevin Porter playing well. Yeah, so Bobby Jones and ML Carr are both playing at a star level, and they have a lot of players around them too, also playing well. And the Warriors, Steve Mix, averaging 17 points per game, and his efficiency isn't even that bad. Mixed Steve Nash, Mike Flynn, Happy Hairston, interesting, playing well. That's great efficiency at that volume. Fred Brown, Curtis Perry off the bench, and they just have a lot of depth. And now let's go on to team stats. I'm really interested to see. So here are the top offenses of the Nets slash Wizards are the number 1 offense. This is the team with JoJo White, Doug Collins, and Rudy T. That's really random. The Bucks are the number 2 offense. They have 580 overall, so makes sense why they're pretty good. Bullets are the number 3 offense. That's really weird. That I don't understand that at all. Mavericks are the 4th offense, led by Tiny Archibald, Gail Goodrich, and John Havlicek. Clippers are the 5th offense. Yeah, that's the best backcourt in the league by a pretty wide margin, so that makes sense. So it looks like the Cavs are the 6th best offense, so at least they're playing well on offense. Knicks are the 7th best offense, led by George Gervin. Magic are 8th. Wolves are 9, and the number 1 seeded Sixers are 10th. Kings, Hornets, Sonics, Blazers, who are the 1 seed. So interesting. So the Blazers aren't a top 10 offense, so see how high their defense ranks. Celtics are the last team in the top half. Huskies are pretty good offensively. Okay. Any teams that are surprisingly low. So yeah, the Pistons don't really have much offensive help around Kareem, so it makes sense why they're really low offensively, but as you can see, their defense is really carrying them. Okay, yeah. And the Warriors offense is the worst in the league by like a wide margin. Is that 7? That's 7 points. That's wild. Wild, wild stuff. Okay, and the best defense by a decently sized margin is the Detroit Pistons. And yeah, they have Walt Frazier, Dave DeBusschere, and Kareem. These other 2 guys aren't great on defense, but yeah, those top three guys are really good on defense. And yeah, Bobby Jones is leading the second best defense in the league. Sonics, unsurprisingly, are an amazing defense as well. Same with the Sixers and the Kings. Nuggets are the. Oh wait, no, that makes sense. This is the team with Mo Lucas and Robert Parrish. Um, Utah led by Wes Unseld. So the Bucks are top 10 in both offense and defense. Ooh, the Knicks are a top 10 defense as well. That's interesting. Hawks are the 10th best defense. Celtics are 11th. Magic are 12th. Clippers 13th. Bullets 14th. And the Timberwolves, I believe they're. Oh no, the Timberwolves are top 10 offense. Okay. Uh, Huskies are 15th. Timberwolves are 16th. Uh, Bullets, Clippers. Wait, no. So the Cavs are the sixth best offense and the 17th best defense. So they're an average defense and a really good offense. But for some reason, their record is in the middle of the pack. That's weird. Spurs, Heat, Suns, Pacers aren't okay. Warriors. So the Warriors are actually the eighth worst defense. So that's interesting. I thought they'd be a bit lower than that. Rockets, Bulls are really bad. So this is basically like the Hawks, like the IRL Hawks. Number one, offense. Bottom four, defense. Hornets are really bad defensively. Lakers are the second worst defense, and the worst defense in the league is the Braves. So now let's check out net rating. So number one in net rating is Portland. Number two is Philly. Number three is Seattle. Four is Kansas City. Five is the Bucks. Six is the Pistons. So despite the Pistons being a bottom 10 offense, they are still really good overall because of how good their defense is. But yeah, there's a pretty big drop off from 5 to 6. Knicks, Nuggets, Bullets, Nets/Wizards, Clippers, Magic. Cavs are 13th. That's interesting. Cavs and Timberwolves have the same net rating. That's wild. Mavericks and Celtics are 16th. And whoa, okay, that's a pretty big drop off to the Hawks. Jazz are at exactly 0. Huskies, Hornets, Heat, Rockets. Whoa, 2.6 drop off there. 1.8 there to the Spurs, Pacers, 1.8 to the Grizzlies, Suns, and then the bottom four teams in the league are like on another tier. Bulls are 3.8 worse than the next worst team. Lakers are the third worst team in the league. Braves, and yet that the Warriors' offense is just so bad. Like, I mean, Steve Mix is leading their offense, so it makes sense. But like, yeah, just so bad. And I guess we can look at award races. So currently it's Kareem, Bill Walton, Dr. J, Mo Lucas, ooh, and Dave Cowens. I think Bobby Jones definitely deserves more love than Dave Cowens. And like if you're really gonna lead into the record thing, probably more than Dr. J. because he is leading his team to the 1 seed and the second best record in the league. But interesting. Um, Rookie of the Year looks like Parrish is probably going to win it. Wilbur Holland is leading the Sixth Man of the Year race. Bobby Jones is leading the Defensive Player of the Year race. I'd probably give it to. He's not on here, but I mean Kareem maybe because he's leading the number 1 defense. But I guess Kareem does have more help, so yeah, Bobby Jones makes sense. And MIP is glitched because this is the first season. Anything else? Let's look at league leaders. So points. David Thompson, Kareem, Gervin, Dr. J, Maravich. Dantley is 6th in points as a rookie. Anything else that's interesting? Walton at 15. Winters is at 21. That's pretty interesting. So there's 2 rookies in the top 25. Dantley at 6, Moses at 24. The top 30. That's wild. Rebounds, Kareem, Cowens, Lucas, Gilmore, Unseld, Moses, Walton, Dr. J, McAdoo, and Hayes. Assists, Frazier, JoJo White, Walton, Tiny, at 8, Maravich, Gus Williams. Bill Russell is 8th in assists, and Tom Borwickle is 11th. That's wild. Steals, Frazier with 5, 3.8 for Westfall. Mo Lucas, Wilbur Holland off the bench for Seattle. Bobby Jones, Nate Archibald, Jerry West, Brian Taylor, Wes Unseld, Pete Maravich wraps up the top 5. And for blocks, Wes Unseld with 5.1 is clearly above everyone else. Kareem, Cowens, Bobby Jones, Walton, Mo Lucas, Clifford Ray, David Thompson. Wow. David Thompson. That's interesting. Mark Olberding and Artis Gilmore. Who is this? Okay, and let's look at some advanced stats, I guess. David Thompson's averaging 36 on 71 true shooting. It's wild. Let's look at estimated wins added. I guess that's always a fun stat. Halfway through the season, Kareem has already added 30.5 wins. Well, not like about 55 games in, Kareem is estimated to have added 30.5 wins. David Thompson at 26. His team doesn't even have 26 wins. He's playing so well that they think he's added 26 wins, but his team has 15 wins. Just wild. Walton at 3. Cowens is top 5. Same with Dr. J. Gervin at 6. Bobby Jones. McAdoo, Lucas. Moses Malone is top 10, according to this. Wes Unseld. So this is just like an approximation of their impact. It's generally pretty accurate and might have a slight bias towards bigs, though. Stano Kropilak is top 10 in estimated wins added. Wow. Or top 15. Wow. Let's just find something interesting. Brian Winters, top 25. Smith, Randy Smith is there. Dandridge. Issel's pretty, Issel's lower than I expected him to be. Clifford Ray is top 30. Interesting. Kresmir, Kosic, and Keenan are around the same. Roundfields, like Lacey, Kosic, Keenan, they're all around the same. Earl Monroe at 37. Interesting. Who's like an all-star that's real? Will is top 45. Higher than Joe. So Paul Westfall's at 47. And Kropilak is top 15. There's Wilbur Holland. Walt Frazier's at 50. Wow. Who's the next like star? Or is there any stars left? Um, Getting into like the 70s. Okay, there's like Lionel Hollins, that's pretty low for him. Jerry West is around 80, lower than I thought he'd be. Um, yeah, I don't think there's any more stars. Yeah, we're on the 100 range. I mean, Steve Mix is the best player on the Warriors, and he has 2.7. Uh, yeah, okay. I think that's pretty much everything. So I'm gonna end the stream here. This one worked, I think, so that's good.